episode of GTA 5 On Patrol Live a couple hours ago. We are back to Darlington Raceway, this time for Cup Series practice and qualifying. For the Goodyear 400 tomorrow, around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube TV Network. Getting down to the final wire of the final races of our coverage of the season before it switches over to Twitch. So let's talk about those final few races we have with you. So tomorrow's Goodyear 400 is one of them. Throwback weekend. Urban throwing back to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s final ride. Nice number 20 throwback there. So the final races we have with you guys is Darlington. Then we go to Sonoma next Sunday. Then it's Martinsville, a trip to Martinsville in 2 weeks. Some short track racing at the Paperclip, where tempers tend to flare more than they do in the office during the work week. And then it's off to WWT Raceway, aka Gateway. Then it's off to New Hampshire and then Las Vegas for the All-Star race. And then that's it for our coverage of the season. Things will then switch over to Twitch_Sports_Network 1 for the rest of the regular season and playoffs. And their first race of their coverage is Daytona, the Monster Energy 400, about 2 weeks after the All-Star race. So without further ado, let's get practice and qualifying underway. This driver, the number 20, got a nice win in the Xfinity Series tonight.
Welcome to Darlington Raceway.
What's up,
the
Don?
Lady in Black.
Welcome
I'm
back
Alex
to another
Hayden.
stream.
Darlington is definitely a one-of-a-kind egg-shaped race.
Also got the truck race last night.
Driving here difficult and setting up the car a completely different.
And
Here we go, just like any other.
What?
Let's see how those tires last.
oh. So about a 60-minute qualifying session. Bear with us, folks. Or practice. Got it wrong. Practice. Qualifying's next. Some of the other guys, put our car on the wall. Chase Elliott, a couple other guys joining us on track here. Also, tomorrow's race, 293 laps, 400 miles around this egg-shaped oval. And it's actually an egg-shaped oval, that's why they call it that. Well, that's just the shape of the track. And it's also nicknamed the Lady in the Black, so she's already given out many Darlington stripes. She's already given out many Darlington stripes during this throwback weekend, during the Craftsman Truck Series race and Xfinity race. And she will give out the Darlington stripe to some of these Cup cars tomorrow. Also, you should know that Urbane gained a new sponsor. And Mavis Tires and Brakes will be coming on board the number 20. And that will be for the Daytona race, the Monster Energy 400. Actually, no, it won't be. It'll be for the Indy Road Course, and that will be the second race of Twitch's coverage of the season. During the All-Star race, when the checkered flag flies, we will we'll probably drop it multiple times throughout. During the All-Star race, we will put the name of the Twitch channel down in the comments multiple times, so that way you guys know or what channel it is, and then you just go on Twitch, and then you can watch the rest of the season there. Eight wins for this number 20 car on the season. Obviously hoping to make it number 9 tomorrow, and I would not be surprised if he does. He is really good at Darlington Raceway. As we're going to get a look at the driver's point of view now in the driver's seat. Fun fact, the last time we had a practice and qualifying session when it didn't get canceled was back at Talladega. And Irving brought a pretty fast Monster Energy Toyota Camry TRD to that race. Because not only was he the fastest in practice, he qualified first and swept the stages and the race that weekend. And that race went incident-free the entire race. No cautions other than to end the stages. That's not normal for a cup race at Talladega or any race at Talladega. So we'll have to see the next time we go there, which will be the playoffs, and that will open the round of 8, how many cars get collected in wrecks. And how many drivers will be on the not-so-good side of things. Also, just the Xfinity and Cup Series switches to Twitch at the end of All-Star Weekend, which starts with the dash for $200,000 for the Truck Series and ends with the All-Star race for the Cup Series. The trucks will be on right here on YouTube TV Network for the rest of the season. They're on here all season long. So keep that in mind. And for the Trucks and Xfinity race at All-Star Weekend at Vegas, those are points-paying races. However, the All-Star race for the Cup Series is not. And this number 20 car already locked into the main event on that because he won the championship the season before. And even if he didn't win the championship, already multiple wins this season definitely would get him into the main event. So he's just got to find the other 22 cars that will be racing with him in the All-Star race. And the field size will be set to 40 just because we would normally set it to 23, but we want to make sure that the drivers that get in are actually in the All-Star race and don't get cut out if we cut it down to 23 cars. So just to make sure, because you can't choose who the 23 drivers are, we're just going to make sure everybody's in, and we're only going to count the cars that are All-Star race eligible. So we're just going to pretend the others aren't even on the track. And on that weekend, there will be many ways to gain yourself a spot in the All-Star race. We'll start with the heat races. For the first heat race, locks in about 4 drivers. Whoever finishes in the top 4 gets locked in. Then you go to the heat races 2 and 3, and the top 3 gets locked in. Then you go to the 2 last chance qualifying races, which will be 60 laps with no stages. And the top 3 the top 3 locks themselves in. And then that's not even really your last chance, because then you got the All-Star Open. The Stage 1 winner locks themselves in. The Stage 2 winner locks themselves in. The All-Star Race Open winner locks themselves in. And then we have the fan vote, which will open this Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can vote on my Instagram page. And there'll be a couple of drivers eligible, like 12 drivers eligible for fan votes. And actually, no, 14. And give me 1 sec, folks. Okay, and then, so it'll be 14 drivers, not 12, for the fan voting. And that opens Wednesday at noon, like I said. And basically, you just vote every day. And it's like a playoff bracket. There'll be 2 drivers that automatically advance and get the first round bye. Those drivers will be Ty Gibbs and Ryan Preece because they have wins. So it's like a playoff bracket. You have your 14 teams. 12 of them will be fighting for spots in other rounds. And whichever driver at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you have until then to lock your picks for each round in, whichever driver has the most votes at that time will move on to the next round. And then it's just like that until we get down to the final 2 drivers. Then it's like that's pretty much like a Super Bowl game. It's like the best driver wins. So whoever has the most votes at 12 a.m. after that round wins the fan vote for the All-Star race. But after it's determined, that will not be announced until after the All-Star Open during All-Star Weekend. So you will not know who won the fan vote until then. Also, this year I'm going to try something different. I'm going to actually at the drivers in the post and see how many sees it, because that'd be kind of cool. I know a couple that might. Keyword might. So we're almost 10 minutes into practice, and it's taken about 18 laps to do so around this track. 293 is the amount of laps we'll do in the race, but I don't think we're going to get there in practice. We might get close to 100 for the end of this. One thing I do think they need to change up about practice and qualifying, though, is instead of making you go to the garage when you pit to get tires and fuel because you're running out, instead of making you go to the garage, why can't you just do a normal pit stop on pit road? That would make the most sense. And for the first time in a couple weeks, fans will actually get to see stops for gas and tires, how they work, because that tire wear and fuel consumption is turned on this week. We turned it off for a couple weeks for certain tracks because of how unfair it would have been. And give us 1 second. Alright guys, we are back. Had to take a break for a minute. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You know, in real life, he had a great season. Won the season-opening Daytona 500. Unfortunately, was eliminated after the first round of the playoffs. I expected Ricky to go a little farther than that. After all, he is my second favorite driver. Unfortunately, that did not happen. We'll have to try again next year, and we don't want to wreck Ricky there. And we got into him coming off of turn 4. We don't want to do what Kyle Busch did to Chase Elliott, because we don't want the bird like he got in 2020. Almost 12 minutes. Oh, we are 12 minutes in the practice. Crazy. You know what's also crazy? Like, they spend time during the season, because they have to, repaving sections of racetracks that are older, like where the asphalt's older. Why don't they use the off-season to actually touch up the tracks? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Daytona's probably good, but maybe give it a repave, just to see how it races. Or maybe not necessarily Daytona, but like Michigan, definitely give it a repave. You know, people have been complaining about Texas Motor Speedway. Maybe all that needs is just another repave, because the repave is what triggered the fans in the first place. Maybe they just need to do a new repave, and then the racing might be better because of the next-gen cars. Thinking about the next-gen cars. The racing was garbage there, especially the All-Star races, with the Gen 6 car, but now we got the Gen 7 car. However, it didn't race much better on the current pavement, and I'm thinking if they just repave it, then it might race better. And if not, then they just need to renovate that track. North Wilkesboro definitely needs one, and I think that they confirmed they are repaving North Wilkesboro during the off-season. So that should be good. Just like some of these tracks, though, they need touch-ups, like bad. You see them, like Dover, like that needs some new concrete, because you see them having to remove pieces of the racetrack sometimes during the race. Like the race has to be red flag, and they're removing pieces of the racetrack. They need to probably reconcrete that whole track, or just switch it over to an asphalt track. I think they had to remove pieces of the track at Darlington one year too, and I think that's why they repaved that section of the track. If that's falling apart over there, then maybe they should just repave Darlington as a whole. Oh, whoa, Kyle Larson, man, what are you doing? You just cut everybody off. I know you don't live in Florida, dude. How in the world do they drive in California? Oh, man, that was crazy. Look at this, they're just cutting this off. They're not hitting on the gas.
All right. Clear all around.
And we're in the wall. That's okay. The only thing you won't see during this race is damage. I turned it off for this one because cars are going to scrape the wall a lot during this race, at least me. And I don't need a folded hood for the entire race because they don't allow you to fix the cars. So, I just turned off damage for this one. Sonoma, it will be back on because that's a road course. So, I mean, there might still be some contact, but not as much. Look at that. Viewers like Eric Jones cut us off now. Like, bro, I thought we were cool. We both from the same state, my guy. Don't be cutting off another Michigander, bro. Don't be doing me dirty like that. Are you salty because you weren't the leader at the end of 78 laps in Michigan the other night? Oh, and if you viewers want to hear something else kind of strange, I used to actually hate the Gen 6 car. Or Gen 7, not Gen 6. I also used to really hate that they moved the numbers forward. But now that they're actually making them look good with the paint schemes, it doesn't bother me as much. Because, like, to me, when you're racing, the number probably should be on the door. That's where it belongs, in my opinion. But if you're going to make the paint scheme pop with the number move forward, then I'm for it. But also, it would have been kind of cool to see them do something like they did during the 2020 All-Star race. They had the sponsor on the door and the number towards the rear fender of the car. And that was pretty cool. Also, NASCAR needs to bring back the underglow, because that during the 2020 All-Star race was kind of cool. But they need to do a better job. I think everybody should get it, not just the people in the All-Star race, because there's some cars that, like, get in the All-Star race and they don't have the underglow just because they're not in the actual race. Or they should at least be allowed to apply the underglow to their cars before NASCAR starts the All-Star race. But I don't think that just needs to be brought back for the All-Star race. I think you need to make that for the playoffs too. Because some underglow for the night races, could you imagine just having some underglow and them just killing all the lights at the track when they when the driver who wins, if it's a playoff contender, does a burnout? Excuse me. And you just see like blue smoke or something? That'd be cool. I don't recommend killing the lights during the race, but I'm sure you guys get what I mean. This isn't IMSA racing. They don't have headlights on the cars. Which I'm already stoked to watch the Rolex 24. I cannot wait till January already. The start of a new racing season. Too bad it has to be at the end of January though. I'm still trying to do the Rolex 24 in GTA 5, but of course we are trying to get people together and then we can't end up recruiting anybody. See, I think we got Joey Logano ahead of us. Is that Chase Briscoe? One of those is definitely Chase Briscoe. Oh, we're not going to find out if we run into the wall. Oh, shoot, we got to swing. We're not going to find out anyway. We got to get down pit road, get some gas. We got at a quarter of a tank. That's usually what I run the car to, even during the races. Okay, we gotta slow down though. We can't enter pit road too fast. Okay.
All right, run starts now. Stay focused, stay consistent.
Back to the track we go to finish up practice. Well, we're gonna have to pit again. See, that's one thing I don't like about pausing this game. It literally, every time you go in a turn and you pause this game, your car just goes right in the wall as soon as you unpause. Hey, there's my man, Bubba. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if people call me names for liking him. He's one of my favorite drivers, so the haters can stuff it. Also, Justin Haley, if you do that again, I'll ruin your career, trust me.
Clear, clear, clear.
I am just like the Dale Earnhardt. I don't have a nickname, but if I did, it'd probably be the Intimidator Jr. Because I don't take too well to people running into my car or trying to wreck me. Nah, I need a unique name. I don't want to be a junior. I want to be known for me. I already got the nicknames King of the Coliseum because I've won so many races at Bristol. I'm a Super Speedway King because I've won so many Super Speedway races. I'm now a Road Course King because I'm good at the road courses. Technically a short track king too, so. I need a unique nickname that stands out. Like my main favorite driver, Chase Elliott. Chase ain't even his real name. It's William Clyde Elliott the second. I almost said the third. But I'm not gonna lie, Chase is better. And his dad's name ain't even Bill. Like, his real name's not even Bill. It's William Clyde Elliott. Like, that's the crazy part. But Bill and Chase, those go hard. That should have been their legal name, in my opinion. So, technically speaking, we have two drivers with the first name William currently in the Cup Series. We got William Byron and, of course, Chase. People can laugh and say whatever they want, but I think this is Byron's year to finally win his first Cup Series championship. Ever since that first career win in 2020, dude's just been up there, winning races left to right. Same with like drivers like Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell's first ever win in the Cup Series was his rookie year, pretty much, because he won at the Daytona Road Course. Oh no, it wasn't his rookie year. It was his first year in the 20, and he won at the Daytona Road Course, which they need to bring back because I think these Gen 7 cars would race good there. And his second ever start for Joe Gibbs Racing, he won a race. And ever since that day, 2022, he went crazy. Dude literally barely avoided elimination twice. Like, he was in must-win situations. Wait, I hit go to garage, I think.
All right, let's
Whoops.
get rolling here. Nice, consistent lap.
Please don't tell me I hit restart. Okay, I didn't. Good. But anyway, what I was saying is, like, Christopher Bell, 2 times last season, was supposed to be knocked out of the playoffs. He was supposed to be knocked out of the round of 12, and he won on the Charlotte Road Course, advancing to the round of 8. He was supposed to be eliminated after the round of 8, not even have a chance at a championship. And then he won at Martinsville, the elimination race, again, to advance. You got young, talented drivers who are actually good at what they do, and they're not just drivers that sit there and run in the back and then do something at the end. They're usually up there all day competing for it. I mean, you know, even Elliott, he hasn't won a race this season, and I don't expect him to because there's so short of a schedule left this season, but next season, you know, hopefully, because, I mean, I am a fan, obviously. I'm hoping for the best for him. I hope he goes out there and steals a bunch of wins, maybe contends for his second career championship. But, like, the sport itself is just interesting today. I can't believe people sit there and literally complain about everything. Like, there's some NASCAR fans that I feel like don't even really pay attention to the race. And then they just go on Instagram and social media and complain about something stupid. Like, for an example, the Mickey Mouse win conspiracy. That's literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Because, like, so, check this out. If drivers like Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, you know, William Byron, now considered, or any other driver that's not really, I mean, even though Chase has won the most popular driver the past few seasons, even though they're not, like, a veteran driver, if they win a race that's rain shortened, then they're called Mickey Mouse wins. But then when their favorite driver wins a shortened race, and then everybody calls their driver a Mickey Mouse winner, then they whine and cry. So it's really a question of, do people just like to complain and not really pay attention? Because if that's the case, maybe instead of going to your phone the entire race, actually pay attention. Because 9 times out of 10, when drivers win rain-shortened races, they're up there competing for the win in general. And even, I had somebody tell me that Michael McDowell's 2021 Daytona 500 win was a Mickey Mouse win. I'm sorry, but that's the most baloney excuse ever. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the Elliott fan base is toxic, and I feel like that was a Chase Elliott fan that was just mad that Chase didn't get it, but, I mean, I was kind of mad that he didn't get it too, but also, paying attention to the race, they literally showed at the end that Michael McDowell was ahead at the time of caution. So therefore, Michael McDowell is the 2021 Daytona 500 winner. But they tried telling me it was a Mickey Mouse win, and I think that they're just mad because he whooped their favorite driver. Or their favorite driver was involved in that horrendous last lap crash, which is easy to remember. Because Brad's blaming Joey for it, but I don't know, it kind of looks like Brad got into Joey there. Because Joey last won the race in 2015, and it looked like he was going to win his first Daytona 500 in 6 years. And then all of a sudden, the 2-car, from what it looked like from my point of view, the 2-car turns up the track into Logano, creating that big pileup. And it wasn't even just a big pileup, it was a fiery pileup, because you had that fireball that came out of the cars. And, like, drivers like Austin Cindric, before Austin, like, that was the season before his rookie season. He was in that race, about to get a good finish, him and Bubba. Bubba's first ever race with 2311 Racing. And they were both involved in that last lap crash. And those two were literally, like, the fireball was on their windshield. Like, they were in the fireball that arose from Logano's and Keselowski's car. That is just one of the easiest memories to remember. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s first ever win with JTG Doherty Racing is easy to remember because, like I said, he's my one of my other favorite drivers, and I was pretty stoked that he won this season. But going back to last season, because it's technically not the end of the season yet. So, Austin Cindric, remember, involved in that last lap wreck a season prior, but as a rookie, beats a potential veteran driver to the line and wins and becomes the second driver to get, well, not just second driver to ever get his first career win in the 500, but the second driver to get his first career win in the 500 in a row. Because remember, McDowell got his first ever career NASCAR win in 2021 in the Daytona 500. And he had been in the league for a long time. Never won. Always been close to winning, but never won until, I can't remember the dates, but I do remember the race. But it was like, we'll just say until February of 2021, he was not a Cup Series winner. And then he won that one, got his first ever win, and then he just picked up his second career win this season. So it took him 2 years to get his second career win. Hang on a sec. But anyways, that's besides the point. The point is that we had a rookie driver only require one start with his team to win. And this is no disrespect to McDowell, no trash talk at all. I'm just saying, we had a rookie driver, his first ever full-time Cup Series start, win the Daytona 500. But notice it took a driver like Michael McDowell many, many, many years to win the 500. Look at Chase Elliott. Oh, returning Logano. Sorry, Logano. Like drivers like Chase Elliott has not won the 500. William Byron has not won the 500. In fact, he's been on the short end of the stick he's been on the short end of the stick in 2020 and 2022 because he literally crashed in the same exact spot as 2020 in 2022. What are you doing, bro? That's your fault. What the heck? Okay, I think we wrecked, guys. What do we do? Bro, Logano, here, I was gonna say, allow me to help you, my guy. What in the... Like, how could he not get going? Like, was he just glued to the wall? Did Phil Swift slap some flex tape on that? Like, what? Okay, we're gonna use a famous catch line though that one of my favorite YouTuber uses, and look at this, they still ain't going. They're still back here, but we're gonna use a catch line that my favorite YouTuber uses. Also, check out my man Steve the Gamer 55 on YouTube. Definitely one of the coolest YouTubers out there. If you like GTA, he does a lot of that. But anyways, we're gonna say hashtag you guys didn't see that because, I mean, literally, we accidentally turned Logano, and then everybody just stopped. Like they didn't know what they were doing. And then we ended up going up the track instead of staying low, and then ended up wrecking. But anyways, what we were talking about is like how drivers like Chase Elliott, you know, Bubba Wallace even, because he came close to winning the 500 in 2022. Never won it, but they're always up there competing for it. Here's the deal. I think within the next 5 seasons, and I could be wrong, but within the next 5 seasons, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, any driver who has not won the 500 before wins the 500. One of those drivers that has never won it before wins the 500 within the next 5 seasons. Elliott always has a good shot, but then he gets caught up in somebody else's mess. Now, that's not saying that the wreck's caused on purpose, but he always gets caught up in somebody else's wreck, because, like, this year, you know, Reddick got wrecked there, and then Elliott got into... Hang on a sec, Siri's talking, and I'm not even talking to her. Hey, Siri. Okay, there we go. But anyway, Reddick got wrecked, Elliott got collected. Unfortunately, with this new car, Kevin Harvick said it well, and I'm going to say it. He said, this new car has crappy-ass parts, like he said. And the only reason Elliott was unable to continue is because he broke said crappy-ass parts. Now, with the Gen 6 car, that little bit of contact he made, they probably would have threw some duct tape on that, and he probably could have been out there still potentially competing for the win. So, whoever built the Gen 7 car, first of all, like I said, I used to hate it, but now I don't. It looks great, honestly. Better than I gave it credit for last season, at the beginning of the season. But you need to figure out who's making these parts for you, and they need to get it together, because there's no reason why a little hit like what they used to do with the Gen 6 car should break your toe link. Also, NASCAR needs to be more realistic with their damaged vehicle policy, because they know damn well you can't replace a broken toe link in 6 minutes, and that's how much time currently the drivers get. I don't know how much it is in Xfinity and trucks, but in the Cup Series, that's how long drivers get to fix their car if they are involved in a wreck. And then they have to go out and meet minimal speed on the track, which God knows what the heck that is, depending on the track, just to qualify to be able to return to the race. Once you meet minimal speed, then you are allowed to go back on pit road and fix your car as many times as you want to. However, the part I don't get is why you're giving them 6 minutes to replace a broken toe link that you know damn well they're not going to have done in 6 minutes. Like, honestly, if a NASCAR official could literally come to where I'm at, I'm not going to share where I'm at on live, but if they could literally come to where I'm at and explain to me why it is that they give them 6 minutes to fix a part that is unrealistic to fix, then please do, because it's not reasonable to give them 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes could have it changed. Or, since you know the toe links are that crappy, why don't you just allow them to fix it? Because at Daytona or Talladega, if the bumper comes off the car, that's a mandatory piece. So they allow the teams to fix that piece. Why can't you just allow them to fix the toe link when you know dang well they're not going to have it done in 6 minutes? Also, I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, sorry about the wait, but we are back. Got almost 21 minutes to go in practice. Well, that's how many we have completed now, because it will say 70. So it's going to take probably almost 100, honestly. Because we still got over 21 minutes to go in practice. Look at this Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwback on the 20. Like I told you, beautiful paint scheme, beautiful throwback. Looks exactly like the car, minus the stuff on the back, but couldn't get it exactly 100% perfect, but honestly, it's the idea of the car that counts. He had a really nice Kevin Harvick throwback for the Xfinity race yesterday, and then the nice Richard Petty throwback for the trucks on Friday. Oh, did you watch the thing I sent you? And again, like we mentioned during the Xfinity and truck race, there's no out of bounds here at Darlington. Now in the turns, you probably don't want to go too low because you'll end up on pit road or way down there. But on the straightaways, you could go as low as that wall and be perfectly fine. And now we're under 20 minutes to go in practice. And look at this, Darlington Raceway, I mean, it's like so short around the track. Like, a race at Darlington seems long, but it really isn't. I remember last year when we ran the Southern 500 for the first race of the playoffs. It's 367 laps, but it sure did not feel like we ran 367 laps. That race felt like it was only an hour instead of 3. And we will obviously be back here for the Southern 500 this season. And this is the last season, at least for now, that the Southern 500 will be the first race of the playoffs. Next season, it will be the regular season finale for the Cup Series. So the second Darlington race will set the field for the playoffs next season. And that's where the regular season champion will be crowned. Alright. Now, wrapping up. Why don't we go back into first person? Of course, we are in the wall again. Stop trying to do the Hail Melon car. That is outlawed by Nascar. That was another crazy part of the 2022 playoffs. But I see why NASCAR actually banned that move, because it is kind of dangerous. But what a way to transfer to the championship 4 and avoid elimination by Ross Chastain. Unfortunately, it is outlawed in this league too, because a lot of our rules are similar to the real rules. So, cannot do the Hail Melon in the league. That, and in the games, it does not seem to work. I have tried it just to try it for fun. It does not seem to work. Maybe after the race tomorrow, or later today, we'll try it on 21 Ignition, because I've tried it on Heat 5, and there's like this invisible wall that each time you try it, it just makes you spin out. So maybe I'll try the Hail Melon on, here on 21 Ignition. You also get a look at Martinsville Speedway, which we race at 2 weeks from now. Again, we're going to go road course racing next week in Wine Country at Sonoma Raceway. Also, once we get to the playoffs, and which again will be on over on Twitch, the way you'll be able to tell the Cup Series playoff contenders versus the Cup Series non-playoff contenders is the yellow spoiler that the playoff contenders will have. So that little spoiler on the back will be painted yellow for each playoff contender, and that's for every round of the playoffs. So when a driver gets eliminated, when the 4 drivers get eliminated from each of the 3 rounds leading up to the championship 4, their yellow spoiler will go back to the normal black spoiler. But when the driver is a playoff contender, it will be a yellow spoiler. Also, that's the 18 behind us, but we are pretending that is the 54, since this is before Ty Gibbs existed in the league. So that is actually our teammate Ty Gibbs behind us. But it's funny because it's our teammate, but also I own that car, so that's also my driver behind me. Ooh, Alex Bowman, also back there. Not Jimmy Johnson, the knockoff Jimmy Johnson. You know, I don't think Jimmy ever shared his input on the next-gen car, because the last time he raced full-time, it was the Gen 6. And now, he ran the Daytona 500 and a couple other races this season in the new car. I don't think he's ever provided his input on it. Ryan Newman said that this car is so dangerous he will not race it on a super speedway. And I mean, he kind of has his reasons why, aka the ending of the 2020 Daytona 500, if I dare mention that, where he nearly won that one. He literally said the reason why is because it's too dangerous, and he already has 2 bars on the roll cage of the car named after him, and he doesn't want a third. So, obviously, whoever engineered the car needs to make it as safe as the Gen 6 was, because we cannot have drivers that are wanting to make starts be paranoid that they're gonna die or be seriously hurt in a crash. Look at Ryan Preece, though. I mean, back at Daytona, had that nasty flip. He barrel rolled that car 10 times. That was 10 times, Rick Allen said, that car went over and over. And it was in the middle of the air when it hit him. 10 times. All it did was mess up the blood vessels in his eyes. He raced the very next weekend and said he could see. But his eyes were so bad, like the vessels were messed up so bad that many of the fans did not believe he could actually see. But he went out there and showed them that he could see. To be fair, he's had his moments too in the cars that have scary crashes. Like when he went 180 miles an hour head on into the wall at Kansas in 2020. And then, obviously, that nasty wreck. During that race. And then somebody proceeded to go on social media and post that Daytona does not like drivers named Ryan. Because of Ryan Newman's 2020 crash, Ryan Blaney's hard hit that he took literally just a few... Actually, it was stage 1, so just a few stages before, he took a nasty hit into the wall. And then we had Ryan Preece barrel roll his car 10 times on the back straightaway where the bus stop is for the road goers.
All right, leaders on pit.
So, I mean, you know, thinking about it, if you ever have questions about whether or not, whatever they did, if you ever have questions about whether or not the Gen 7 car is safe, ask my man Ryan Preece. Because I thought something bad was going to happen that night. Might even take more than 100 laps, to be honest with you guys. We still got over 10 minutes to go in practice. Also, next week, it's not going to be the lap qualifying times like what we get this week. It's going to be timed qualifying sessions. So that should be interesting next week. I believe we have like 2 different qualifying sessions too for the Cup Series at Sonoma. So Wine Country is going to make it interesting. Also, there'll be 2 different layouts too. The Xfinity Series will race on the old layout, and the Cup Series will race on the new layout, the one where the chute is open. Well, we have reached under 10 minutes to go in practice. And then it'll be time for pretty much the last car in qualifying after that, and that'll be the 20 of Irving, because it unfortunately doesn't let us see the other qualifying runs, and I think that'd be kind of cool if you could actually watch through qualifying until it's your turn to go. But see, the stream's already long enough with the practice that you guys are pretty much entertained by the practice. I really hope we get fastest, honestly. We've been pretty good at practice this season. So it looks like the best lap for the 20 is a 30.474. So he needs to get something better than that. Well, it seems like every lap getting closer, but then unfortunately it's no cigars. Darlington is definitely a race I'd like to go to after college. I think it'd be kind of fun to go down to South Carolina. Except I'll go to the Cookout Southern 500. It's a longer race than the spring race, but also that's down south, and it's going to be really hot during the spring. It'll be a little bit cooler, potentially. One, because it's a night race, and two, because it's getting closer to fall. It doesn't really get cold down there like it does up north, but still it'll be pretty nice to attend a Darlington race. Looks like Chase Elliott gonna join us back out on track. So it's definitely going to take over 100 laps to complete this practice session, but we're down to under 7 minutes to go. We got 3 laps to go until we reach lap 100. And we have reached lap 100, so officially it will be lap 100 will be complete next time by. That's why I said 3. And we got 5 minutes remaining in practice. What a nice debut of the Craftsman paint scheme, too. As, it's never really, it hasn't been out for a race yet. This is the perfect race to do it, because it goes good with this paint scheme. Now down to 4 minutes to go in practice. Into the wall he goes a couple of times there. Don't know if we're going to be able to beat that 30.474. We're now down to 3 minutes to go in practice. Oh, it got closer that time. As we have 2 minutes remaining in practice. And once it gets under 2 minutes, the time changes to red from white. Oh! New best lap for the 30.453 that time, so nice job there. We're at about 80 seconds left in practice. Oh, now 70. Now under a minute. Oh, the final 10 seconds of practice. And hold on there though, because we're not done after practice. So got technically the one and only qualifying session as the time comes to an end. And look at that, the 20 is the fastest in practice. Just barely beating out Ross Chastain. And those are your top 12 drivers in practice right there. See where everybody else finished at. Okay. So obviously for some drivers,
here at Darlington Raceway.
some work needs to be done.
And if you ever need an advantage for a starting position, this is the track. With how difficult it'll be to pass here in the race, starting up front could mean the difference between a win and a standard 10th place day. We'll see who finished practice with a balanced car by the end of today's session.
All right, driver. Focus up. Let's get after it.
All right, here we go. And the 20 is officially qualifying now.
Let's put down another.
Here comes off turn 4. Where will he start in tomorrow's race? He's gonna start from the pole. The 20 will win the pole here at Darlington. Urbane will lead the field to green tomorrow, or later today. He beats out Kyle Larson for the pole. That was close too. Ty Gibbs starting 7th. Where's all the Team Urbane cars? We got 1st, 4th, 5th, 7th. And there's one more car. And 21st, and that until we find out where Noah Gregson is going to end up in the Cup Series next season, or where he's going to end up. Noah Gregson will drive the 11. Once we find out where he's going, the 15 will get sold, which the 15 is also starting last. That will get given back to Rick Ware Racing. Denny Hamlin will move back to the 11. Gregson will race for whatever team he races for. But with that, everybody, we're going to say so long. We'll see you for the Goodyear 400 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.